Hello guys, welcome back to the Orange Pillars podcast from your sometimes stand-in host, Trademark Sports, with my co-hosts Winston Neville and Zane Potter. How are we, boys?
I like it that you've gone, Dragons won on the weekend, get me back on the podcast.
Pretty much.
Back in the 8 as well.
Fair weather supporter, they call me.
Yeah, no, I rate it. Zane, how you going, mate?
Footy-wise could be better. Man, it's the first time in a long time when my team's been worse than your two sides, so it's just something I've got to use at this point.
How are you actually feeling though?
At the moment, yeah, no, I'm in a good mood.
Do you want Beyond Blue's phone number or anything?
No, I don't need that.
Okay, not yet. We may as well just get straight into the 5-4-3-2-1s and then we'll talk more about South Sydney's performance. I'm keen to talk about that more than the Bulldogs' performance, to be honest. Zane, you kick us off.
Yeah, mine's a bit strange this week because I didn't watch all the games, so I've just got to go off fantasy points, and that's pretty much what I based a lot of these off. But 1 point I've gone Lockie Galvin. I thought he was the Tigers' best player.
How much did that hurt to do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, man, I thought...
That's why he's only got 1 point.
Yeah.
Can't give it to a South player. 2 points, I've got Dominic Young. Hat-trick in the wet, so I guess, he's still not Reece Wester, though. 3 points, I've gone Val Holmes. I thought he had his best game for the Cowboys this year.
Yep.
4 points, Ben Hunt.
Yep.
Because I thought he controlled the Dragon side in that game. And then 5 points, this one's the bolter. I've gone Connor Tracy. I thought he was outstanding.
There you go.
And I don't know what you feel about him, but I thought he was outstanding.
I only feel positive things towards Connor Tracy.
And he was the only one. He was the only one that wasn't based off fantasy points.
There you go.
And Dom Young wasn't either.
Yeah, okay.
Because I remember dissing him before the game, saying, Dom Young in the wet, this is going to be fun, but he scored a hat-trick.
He did.
Shut me up.
He saved my Supercoach. Well, I lost Supercoach, but
Tough.
he helped. Hit us, Tyson.
So my top five, apart from one pick, it's all very biased, which we'll soon find out. Number one, Christian Tuipulotu, 270 run meters from the wing, playing for the Dragons. Thank you very much. Number two, James Tedesco. I thought he was brilliant. He's been brilliant all year. Number three, Tyron Wishart. When he plays 5'8", I reckon he's the best 5'8" in the comp this season, and that might be biased, but I don't really care what you say. Number four, Jaden Sewer. I love that man. So glad he re-signed for the Dragons. He can have my children. And then number five, the Dragons' new signing, Val Holmes. Hat-trick, 7 from 7, was unreal. He's just showing off for his new coach. That's what I thought.
Very, very nice. Yeah, no bias at all there at all.
Nah, Jaden Sewer was unlucky not to be on my list.
What about Tedesco?
Tedesco was good, but I went Dom Young because he got the hat-trick.
Zane vows to never give Roosters points.
Especially
James Tedesco, who's leading our scoreboard at the moment. He is.
Really? I haven't given him much points. I don't know how that's happened.
Just the glaze from Winston.
Yeah, I love James Tedesco so much. I've gone 1 point to Jack Howarth. I thought he was really good at centre, technically out of position. Ben Hunt got 2 points from me. I thought, he controlled well. A nice little bounce-back game because I thought against the Dogs he was shocking. I've given Teddy, Zane's man, 3 points. I've given Jacob Kiraz, snub from both of you. I thought he was heaps good. I've given him 4 points. And Val Holmes, Dragon superstar, 5 points.
I wonder what made him play so well on Saturday.
Probably,
especially right after being kicked out of the club by the Cowboys, told to move on. He
probably
just
the fact that they're still in the 10-day cooling off period and he's trying to, Todd, please let me stay. Don't let me go down there.
Well, Val Holmes is our player of the week. So there
Let's go.
13 points to Val. We may as well just get straight into the Dragons chat and we'll talk about Val Holmes signing. As a Dragons fan, what do you make of that signing?
I love it. We've got him on less than he's on now, which I think is great. He's still a current Queensland player, plenty of experience, takes over from the goal kicking from Zach Lomax. I see him slotting in on the wing.
Yeah.
You've got that vacant wing spot left by Lomax. Tuipulotu's obviously got one side. Ravalawa seems like he's out the door. Darell Sloan has been playing a lot better footy this year. I think, you could put him in the centres, but I don't know. I feel like it just makes sense for me to put him on the wing. I reckon it's great. We've got a lot of good young outside backs coming through as well. Great bloke to learn off. So
yeah,
I think it's just all round a really good signing for the club.
How many years was it?
3 years.
Yeah, I rate that because
Well, that's the other thing. People keep going, he's old as. He's 28.
20. Okay, I thought he was 30.
He's got another contract in him too.
Yeah, and also if you're think about toll on the body, he spent 2 years trying to crack the NFL. So his load on his body was nowhere near as much when he's doing that. So he's probably even got another year or so, just in terms of how he's feeling that sort of thing. So
no, very true. I wonder if there's a chance he plays fullback. Look, obviously,
I think there
Sloan's been
is.
pretty good, but like he got dropped at one stage. He's got those defensive issues. Yeah, I don't think he'll be fullback, but I think there's a chance.
I always said as well, like, I think it would have been good for Sloan to have a year in reserve grade. He obviously hit the scene really well. He scored in his first, 8 or something games in the NRL. Like, he hit the ground running. And then I'm a firm believer that if Cody Ramsey hadn't have got sick, then I think Sloan would have had that year in reserve grade and he'd be 3 times the player he is now just because of that, learning and getting to understand his game a bit more. But, so, you could put him back to reserve grade next year, but then you think, okay, he's going to be 23, 24. Is it a bit late to chuck him back in Reggie's, that kind of thing? Sloan could play on the wing as well.
True.
I just worry about him coming out of yardage. For that fact, if he's replacing Lomax, for example, who's averaged 180 metres a game this year, you're not really getting that. But
and Sloan's been good at fullback.
I think this year
he's at his best year.
Statistically, he's been the best defensive fullback in the comp.
Really?
Most tackles made at the highest tackle efficiency.
Genuinely?
I'm pretty sure. Last time I checked, it was anyway. That was probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
There you go.
So it might have been a bit skewed, but
defense.
Yeah, it's compared to Reece Walsh, his defense is through the moon.
I guess it's just his placement and stuff.
Yeah, that's the only thing you don't see from the stats. That's why you can't always look at just what the stats say because positionally he does get caught out quite a fair bit, but he is getting better.
Zane, before we move on from Holmes, what did you make of the signing?
I remember a few weeks ago we were going to predict where he might end up. I think we both said the Dragons. Was I would have loved to have seen him. I said I think with Lomax going, Val Holmes is a perfect, if not better, replacement on his day than Zach Lomax. Yeah. Especially just the goal kick and the yardage. Defensively, I think that's the difference. I think Lomax is a much better defender than Val Holmes. But at the same time, I think Dragons, this is a big signing for him.
I think Shane Flanagan will get the best out of him as well. Also, they've got a relationship.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Shane, he debuted under Shane Flanagan at the Sharks. Yes. So
that's why I reckon he should be better on the wing, just because.
I think he played fullback at the Sharks for a few years. Flanagan.
But in the centres defensively, he can be a little bit suspect. But
that's why a lot of people are saying put him on the wing.
Well, obviously losing Lomax, it probably makes more sense to go to the wing, unless if Rava can somehow get his way back into the side, then maybe because you got the Figes at centre.
Yeah, and Sully to come back.
Oh yeah, true. Sully comes back, and Bird's there as well.
Yeah.
So probably does land on the wing, maybe fullback.
There's also a couple of young guns coming through. You've got that Sione for now. He played against Penrith. Hayden Buchanan's coming through playing cup. There's
Ramsey's there.
Yeah, when he does come back.
Yeah. Hopefully he comes back.
Because I'm looking at some of these Dragons signings as if they're kind of just... Because, Val Holmes replacing Lomax is a fine one, but when you look at ones like Cook replacing Little, what are they supposed to do there?
It's an upgrade.
I know, but Jacob
Cook's
Little...
been your best player all year.
Yeah, true, but I don't think Jacob Little's had that.
Jacob Little's been fantastic. Yeah, I honestly nearly would start Jacob Little and bring Cook off the bench.
What if it's the other way and they start Cook and put Little on the bench? Would Little be a fan of that?
I don't know.
Then there's other ones who else have they signed recently? There's someone else.
It's a good problem to have. It's the first time in a long time the Dragons have been we've got 2 probably top 10 players in a position. What do we do?
Yeah,
so,
I wouldn't
Ben Hunt's probably one of the best hookers in the comp as well. Yeah. But he just doesn't play there.
I wonder how much longer Ben Hunt has in him.
That's what I was going to say before. When you mentioned that he had a pretty poor game against the Dogs, I think it was the week before we beat the Storm, and he was ridiculous.
Then the week before that, he was terrible against the Panthers.
I think it's just he's starting to slow down a little bit. Where it's just harder for him to get up week by week, and that's what we're almost seeing it with our results. What week that Ben Hunt's been up for it.
Yeah, literally. Talk to me just about the Dragons game. Obviously, you're in the top 8 now, so you're nervous. Do you reckon they'll make the 8?
It's weird. I don't it doesn't make sense. I look at it we went to get the spoon this year. We're sitting 8th. I'm what's going on? I look at our run home. If we beat the Sharks this week, surely we're there. But I'm not counting the chickens. I thought on the weekend, the one thing that really stood out for me, though, was our resilience in defence in that second half. Obviously, there was a massive breeze out at Wynn Stadium that we had in the first half. We're up by 20 points at half time.
Yeah.
And I still wasn't confident. I was Titans, they've got that kind of team that can go on a run for 40 minutes, and the Dragons are the kind of team that can just fall over, lay down for 40 minutes. And they had that breeze at their back. I was we could be in for it here. DeBellin got sin bin. I was here we go.
Yeah.
It's all happening here. We're gonna get run over the top of, but the boys hung on solid. Obviously, it wasn't our best half of footy, but the fact that we showed some determination and resilience, which we haven't seen with the Dragons for the last 5 years, I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good points. I feel like this year the Dragons, whenever there is they have to show resilience, they just don't.
Yeah.
And so that period where Jack DeBellin got sin bin, I thought Titans were going to claw their way back into it, but I don't think they leaked a point in that 10-minute period.
I don't think so.
I think the Dragons have got a lot better in that as the years gone on.
Yeah,
we
even
saw
the last month.
when they played the Dogs, they were in that game until Jack Bird went off injured, and that kind of just was game over from there.
Yeah.
When the Bulldogs took that whole Anzac Day as well, they scored the first try.
Well, so
That
I'd
game
love to
didn't
see,
they? It was
I
just
haven't
kind
actually had a look at it, but I'd love to see the stats of how many games we've lost 1 to 12 and then 13 plus.
Yeah,
and out of those 13 plus, 20 plus. Because I feel like when the other when we're getting beat, we just give up.
Because their for and against is shocking.
Yeah,
as well.
it's honestly
Shocking.
embarrassing. You look at it, every other team, top 8's got a positive for and against by 30 or something. It's minus 100.
Yeah, and that could cost them the top 8 spot.
And I must say,
Absolutely.
this Dragon Sharks game this weekend is a
huge.
big game for the fact that if Sharks lose, they could fall out the top 4.
Yeah.
And it means the Dogs will be in the top 4. And the Dragons, if they win this, they should lock in the top 8, but at the same time, they could lose their final 2. But
I think they've got to win 2 more.
it's a big game, this one.
Yeah,
It's
it
Sunday,
is.
isn't it? I think the
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Sunday,
in
4 o'clock.
stadium.
So yeah,
Should be a sellout.
should
And
be
we
a
haven't
crowd.
beat the Sharks in forever. What
Do you
it
know the
feels
last
anyway.
time?
No.
No,
Trying to
that's
think
how
when
long
was
it's
the last
been.
time.
Yeah.
I remember there was that one game in the rain at Wednesday. Was that 22?
I don't
When
know.
it poured in. It's like a Thursday night.
We
when they
haven't
played.
we haven't beat them for so long.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually trying to look back and think. Maybe 2018 or
Random
something.
stats
It might have
gotta
been.
reach out.
I think it was early 2018 they beat them at Shark Park.
Yeah, I remember there was heaps of stats around it when you last played the Sharks.
Yeah.
And it was,
And it's funny because you say early 2018 doesn't seem like that long ago. It was, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
I was oh, shit.
Yeah. Let's not fall down that rabbit hole of how fast time goes.
No, thank you.
Zane, talk to me about Souths.
Oh, is there much to say?
There's a lot to
I think,
say.
I think the game was just poor and boring. If I was still doing my tier rankings on TikTok, which I haven't really done recently, it'd be in the poo slingers. There's no doubt in my mind. It was an awful game to watch. But 3 games to go. Can't end any sooner. We got the Knights this week, which I believe is probably the last chance if we are to win a game. This is the only one we could possibly win because we do play Penrith and the Roosters after that. But we should have won that game.
Where did it go wrong?
The attack was just stale. Not having Latrell there, just the attack's just so stale without him. And Cody Walker tries his best, but he can't do it without him.
I got asked what you think went wrong this year today by one of my classmates. I said, what does Zane think went wrong with South this year?
Well,
What's your answer?
I think I know what, but it's particular players. I think it's sort of been fixed. Oh, actually, no, I lied saying that. There was egos around the club who think that the whole club was about them and that everyone had to listen to them, which resulted in a coach in particular walking out on the club because the head coach defended the player. Then the head coach got sacked, which left this, I'm going to say it, Latrell on his own. Ben Hornby's never been a head coach before. So it was just, I think Latrell thought he was more superior than what he was at the club.
So you blame Latrell? Or not
I
necessarily
do.
blaming Latrell,
Not
but
just him, though.
The politics around
I think
inside
there's a
the
few
club.
more than just Latrell. I think Cody Walker as well. But I just think not having a experienced coach around, it kind of just went wild around
you
there.
reckon
And
Bennett
they
fixes
kind of
it?
took over as the main voices at the club.
Do you reckon Bennett fixes it?
Well, I think that's why they signed him.
Yeah.
If
Hopes that it does.
next year Bennett comes in and they still have the same issues, do you think it's time for Latrell to...
Well, that's going to be a question you'll have to ask me then. Because
what
I see
happens?
people
What are-
thinking that Bennett's going to come in and the club's going to be top 4 again next year. I don't think that's happening.
Yeah,
I think South can make the 8 next year, but I wouldn't go as far as say top 4 just yet, based on how this year's gone. Because I don't think...
I think you can.
I don't think those issues are the only thing, because there's a lot of things in the playing side that I don't rate. I think Souths have an average back line at the moment, average forward.
but
But
so
you've
many
also
people
got
out,
Campbell
though.
Graham to
Yes,
come back, Tyrone
that's
Monroe to come
true.
back. There's someone else, Alex Johnson, I suppose he's going to be out for a fair while. He's got an Achilles, so he'll be back to...
But yeah, the back line can be, but the forwards as well, especially Tom Burgess leaving, who's, I think, is a very underrated player for the Rabbitohs this year.
But like, I assume they do... There's a lot of forwards off contract that Souths are...
After, like, Campbell Gillard's on the market. I want him. He's the one I want.
Sharks forward, what's his name again?
Royce Hunt.
Yeah. You've also got David Moore, who's going to be a year old, another pre-season.
I know, but
Sean
at the same time, I look at that forward pack, I'm just like I compare it to
other
other sides.
Will be playing in the middle next year. Joe Arrow back.
Yes, and there's rumours of Josh Schuster as well, who probably I'd assume play second row. That's what people think, but that's going to be a strange signing. We are also
I reckon he'd be better at 5'8" in South's team.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Then Cody Walker 7.
And play Wyden at centre.
Yeah. I just think Wyden's so wasted at centre.
Especially
earlier in the year. I was just get him in the middle of the field.
Call me an idiot, but I actually reckon Whiten wouldn't be a bad option at 13 for South.
13. Then Cam Murray, where does he go?
Second row.
Yeah, I'd keep Cam Murray lock. Only because I rated Kalamatangi when he went lock, but the last few weeks I'm like, please move Murray back. Yeah. That's what they did, and he was our best player.
Murray was so good.
He was very good.
Yeah, Murray was
worked his absolute backside off. But South are also losing Damien Cook, who I think
that's probably not talked about enough, really.
Because we've got Peter Mamazoulis, but I mean, he's I think about 22, 23. He's been around for quite a few years, just waiting patiently for his turn.
I'm not going to blame the whole of the Parramatta Eels downfall on losing Reid Marnie, but when you have a look when you have a look at how they went after he left. They've just gone downhill. And then you look at when Penrith signed Coruscant, all of a sudden everything just clicked. And you got the Doggies with Reid Marnie playing really good footy this year, down year last year, really good footy this year. Like, every really good team in the comp has a great 9. Yeah. Like, it's an underrated position. And I feel like if Mamazoulis, like, things don't start going his way early next year, it could be a very long year for him. And then who's your backup 9 after Mamazoulis?
Exactly, that's what my worry is. We don't have a backup 9
Cameron Murray.
I mean, I think we...
Yeah.
I mean, who else could play hooker? Like, so Little Harvey-Early's there, but I look at him...
I look at
him as more of a forward. Like, when he plays hooker, it's like a bit... Like, I remember, I think there was one period where the Broncos were playing Sam Fighter at number 9.
Yeah.
That's just like throwback.
So it's just like... Wayne Bennett could just put it forward in.
I wonder what Michael Leisha's up to.
Michael Leisha, yeah.
Who Wayne Bennett...
Danny Levi, bring him down. He's been in every single club, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And Michael Leisha, who... Dogs rejected Damien Cook for.
Yeah.
Damien Cook on. Where is he now, Michael Leisha?
I don't want to know.
But if you want me to sum up how the club went wrong, I just think that those players were controlling the club too much. And the head coach was letting them get away with it.
Yeah, fair.
And then
just quickly as well, sorry. No, you finish.
Oh, sorry. And this year, I just think with the coach being sacked, the Souths are just patiently waiting for Wayne to come next year, and they kind of just tossed this year away pretty early on.
Yeah.
Does seem that way.
Go Tyson.
Just quickly for those playing along at home, the last time the St. George Illawarra Dragons defeated the Cronulla Sharks was in 2020.
Round
six,
maybe.
No idea, but it was at Campbelltown Stadium in front of 103 people.
It was the one when the Dogs game got delayed for them having COVID. Do you remember when they switched the games around?
Honestly, no, not really.
Yeah, okay.
I remember it from my memory.
Just to tell you how long ago it was, Matt Duffy scored a try. And Karen McInnes for the Dragons.
I actually put together my drought.
Halves with Corey Norman wearing the fullback jersey and Adam Clune. Against the Sharks with Sean Johnson and Chad Townsend. Connor Tracy on the bench.
It's 2020.
James Graham.
2020 is a long time ago now, isn't it?
Ben Hunt started on the bench wearing number 6. Wow.
With Norman and Clune and McInnes.
No, I think... Let me actually go to NRL.com here, because I think the week before the Dragons got flogged by the Warriors, like 30-0 or something.
Oh, goodness.
And then they, this was around when McGregor got sacked. I think it was
that's like... You speak about how far...
Round 5.
I've been looking at, players from the Bulldogs 8-year drought.
Yeah.
And, I put together a best 17, and, Matt Duffy was my...
So it wasn't the Warriors. They had actually lost to the Bulldogs the week before in 2020. So that shows how bad of a game, and they didn't score a point against them.
In that same week, the Roosters beat the Broncos 59-0. Kyle Flanagan scored for the Roosters.
He had a good year that year.
Jeez.
How long ago was 2020 now?
It's
a very strange year.
Matt Burton scored 2 tries for Penrith, as well as Billy Burns. Reach out. Billy Burns is toast, one of the best Instagram handles of all time. Wow.
Yeah, 2020 was a week.
Kane Evans scored a try for Parramatta that weekend.
Kane Evans is a throwback.
Wow.
The season in general was just so
yeah.
weird. Like, just with not just COVID, just some games were just.
Yeah.
There was a lot of blowouts,
We
but
lost
Edric Lee.
66-0.
because I remember
Tex Hoyt hit the goal for the night.
Remember Tex Hoy? I'm doing like it's 20 years ago. This was 4 years ago.
Anthony Don.
The Don.
How
Everyone
about
loves
these
the Don.
try scorers for Gold Coast? Anthony Don, Keegan Hipgrave, Brian Kelly, that's boring, and Kevin Proctor. Sorry, and Phil Sammy.
I
Sorry.
forgot about Kevin Proctor.
Not the halftime vape.
Yeah. And the bite as well.
Yeah.
Adam Elliott scored for the Bulldogs. Adam Elliott, Nick Meaney, and Remus Smith.
Do you know who the Bulldogs marquee signings that year were?
Oh, yeah.
Probably Dalmartinez Lesniak on $4 million a
I
year.
wish. It was Dean Britt, Joe Stimson, and Sione Katoa, the hooker.
Dean Britt.
That was our marquee signing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We've come a long way.
Yeah, legendary Rabbitohs bench player, played like 15 games for the club off the bench.
Yeah.
So,
Never played a game after the Bulldogs stint. We ruined him. Speaking of a player that we're not ruining, because the Tigers are going to ruin him instead, Darell Skelton is signed with the Tigers. What do we make of that?
I mean, how much backs are they signing at the moment?
Well, they got
Got
Taruva coming,
Taruva.
got Staines there, Dewey, Ola.
They signed someone else, didn't they? I swear they signed another back, but
probably.
they're
But
making a lot of
also-
signings, so I can't keep up with it.
They've got the spoon the last 2 years, potentially going to get it this year. You go, oh, they got so many backs there, but obviously they're not up to scratch.
Yeah.
And Darell Skelton, when he's had his chance this year, has been unreal. Like, you can tell, because he came over from Union, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
you can
remember.
tell he's like, he's got it now. Like, he's understands what his
yeah.
role is in his job. He's big boy.
Yeah, massive.
Like,
He
Well,
can
a
play
couple of
second
weeks
row.
ago, I was actually very sceptical about the Bulldogs bringing Addo back in for Skelton because I thought Skelton had been outstanding, but
Yeah.
Addo been solid, but Skelton's a first grade player.
He's a-
he can't
Oh,
just
yeah.
sit in the reserve grade at the Bulldogs. He
That's the
needs to-
best way to put it. He's literally like first grade standard. And so, mate, I'm like, as a Dogs fan, I'm very happy that he's going to get his chance. It sucks that it's at the Tigers, but like they got him cheap too. It was like
You know, he's
$250.
someone at the Tigers who I think, other than Justin Olam, can actually score a try for him.
Yeah.
So
it's
I
true.
think it's going to be a solid pickup. Same with Sinea Taruva.
They are starting to build something there. Like, if you've got Dream Buller, Taruva, Skelton,
Blue eyes on his way.
like Dewey if he is like can keep fit, Olam if he can play well, and then Galvin and Luai. That's a pretty solid backline.
That's a very solid
Like,
backline, to be fair. Yeah.
You look at that and it's like, yeah, there might be still some little holes still there, but again, the Tigers are a club. I'm sure they've got a bunch of
And they're
absolute
losing
gun
Stefano
juniors
as
coming
well
through.
now.
Yeah,
Which
which
is one that they probably should have held on to.
And Papali.
Papali. Yeah,
Papali,
where's he off to?
Penrith.
Ben-
Oh, yeah, he is
Which-
too. Yeah, that
he'll-
happened ages ago.
bold
didn't it?
prediction, he'll probably get Dally M second half of the year next year.
I reckon he'll play pro.
Yeah, I
Over
don't
Fish
mind
Harris.
Or like
Because Fish
rotate
Harris let him be
between.
there, yeah.
Sort of like Josh Curran this year for the
that. Yeah,
And they've
yeah.
lost John Bateman as well.
Yeah.
Who I think is actually
They've
a
lost-
pretty
well,
big loss
he's
for
coming
them.
back apparently.
Yeah,
Tigers.
he's coming back next year. He's
I
gone on
thought,
a
he,
little.
I thought he was just going to.
They reckon he's coming back.
I thought he was just going out of the club.
No, they reckon he's going to come back. He
I
probably
swear another
won't,
club
but
was
they
going to
reckon
sign
he
him
will.
though.
He's just gone on a little holiday back
Yeah.
overseas, back
Yeah,
over
that's
England.
strange.
Just
okay.
seeing his family. He'll be back.
Yeah.
Probably.
Benji Marshall, believe it or not, actually was in an accessory on Saturday night.
What do you mean?
He had his beanie on.
Oh,
Yeah.
shocking.
I'm like, out of all he was the only coach on the field that had a beanie on. I'm like, oh, that's Benji Marshall.
Benji Marshall,
He always has
I
a
swear
hat
he
and a beanie
loves
on.
wearing a suit with a beanie, and it's
Yeah.
just like
And a hat or a
such
hat.
a disgusting combo. But I can't hate the man. He's in the Hall of
He
Fame
always,
now.
true.
Like-
He always looks like he's like an NBA draftee on draft night. He's like a suit and then just a flat cap or beanie. We were mentioning Darell Skelton. Let's talk about the Dogs. Do you guys want to just sit here and tell me how good my footy team is? Or?
Not-
Not
really.
I watched the first half, so I didn't
was
see
it?
the second half when they dominated them. Well, I mean, Dolphins are in it the first half. They really gave it their all, but what I heard, because I had to go to work, that the Dolphins just fell apart when the Dogs got too hard for them. But
Yeah,
the main
pretty
talking
much.
point, the hammer running down out of a car.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't see that every day.
Well,
Well, you don't see people running down out of a car in general.
yeah, well, cancel the grand final race. We've got it. We've got our answer. No, I think, well, firstly, Saab probably wins the grand final race,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But
Well,
how
Saab said
good
he's
was
going to
that?
be playing on the day, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, it's good that Hammer ran down Fox because Fox playing in the grand final, it's like, well, we know he's not the quickest anyway. But that probably was the
Just
highlight of the
imagine
game,
if
to be fair.
if it somehow ends up being like Dolphins grand final, then hammering at a car missing this
Yeah.
sprint race that everyone's looking forward to.
Can I also just say quickly that Smokey, out of that whole thing that no one's really ever talking about, is Herbie Farmworth.
Really?
He came from further across on the field, and he would have got Addo car. He was right next to the hammer. He had to
Yeah.
run further. I'm like, He's low-key a little smoky for that, but also he has the hammer hitting 40 k's an hour. First time it's ever happened.
Yeah, I was
in
going
the
to say,
NRL.
I'm pretty sure it's the first time.
That is quick.
Like, he's nearly speeding in a school zone.
Yeah.
There's some clubs though, like for this sprint race, like I'm trying to think, will it just be one person from each club, or will it just be the fastest in
The
general?
way that
Like,
I would love to see it
just
happen,
they sign up and then the NRL pick, because Manly have heaps.
if
that they
you
can choose.
are an NRL club and you've seen this, there is the best opportunity for content. For example, a club like Manly, who've got like 5 super quick players.
And the Raiders as well.
Yes,
Raiders
like
have plenty.
I mean, every club's got, like there's probably blokes that you never even heard of at clubs that are like lightning quick, and it's like have a race at training or something, like set it up really like cinematography, awesome, and then have them like run hectic content idea, and then you've got like heats or whatever at the clubs, and then you go into grand final day. You've got 17 teams, so you've got a heat of
15 would be participating.
True.
Well, no, because you could just have someone from the reserves from the teams that are playing on the day.
I guess.
Because there'd be a junior that's quick at
Yes.
Yeah.
So and it's a good opportunity for a guy like that just to get his name out there, and then all of a sudden, who's that? And you look at the highlights, and go, shit, man can play footy.
Yeah, Jordan Samrani, wow, he's fast.
I'm just thinking right now, there's
Who?
Bulldogs junior 8, Dogs grand final.
But see, this is exactly what I'm saying. But so you've got a heat of 9 and a heat of 8. Then the top 4 from each of those go through to a final, and then boom, you got the fastest player in the comp.
Are you doing the heats on grand final day?
Yeah.
So you're getting to run 2 races?
Yeah, that'd be right.
I'm trying to think right
They're
now.
athletes.
I'm like,
Yeah, true.
who is South going to pick in this? Like
Latrell.
Tommy
Damien
Burgess.
Cook.
Tommy Burgess. Oh, yeah, Damien Cook, but I think he's
Beach
kind of...
sprinter.
No, I'd probably pick Jai.
Damien Cook would
I'd
be
probably
good
pick
on
Jai
40.
Gray.
If they can have
If I was
No
to-
way.
If I was to pick a player right now,
to
Jai
Jai
Gray is probably quick over 20-30, but his legs are too little.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
To be a
But
sprinter,
I don't think Damien Cook's got the speed that he used to have.
I agree.
Hear me out.
I'm
If
trying
they
to
just-
think,
if
you know,
they
like
get some
Camp
sand,
Pereira, like Titans
get
have
some
heaps they
sand,
can pick.
Put 100 metres worth of sand.
Yeah, just one roll
and
of
that's Damien
sand.
Cook's
Yeah.
lane.
Just one roll.
Who's your
Fly.
winger you've just started playing that kicks goals?
Oh, Myers, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
give
outran
him a go.
Pappenhausen.
Yeah.
I just remember that game. Like, just Pappenhausen was right there. I'm like, there's no... Pappenhausen surely catches at me. Like, Pappenhausen didn't even look like he was trying to catch him on that play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
think about the amount of injuries that Pappy's had to
Yeah.
his lower limbs in the last 3 years,
Yeah.
though. Like,
Well, that's why I reckon.
Well,
Fox,
you'd think
like,
Pappenhausen's in the race.
well, that's the other thing. The fact you got to take into consideration with Fox on the weekend. Like, he's 28, which, as I said for Holmes earlier, it's not that old, but it is also 5-6 years on the Hammer and Herbie.
Yeah.
And
He
he's just
also-
come back from a
yeah,
hammy.
He literally just returned from... And I still think Hammer's probably faster, but like...
Of course, but-
that hammy
But
was
I actually
strapped
reckon...
to the end of
I actually reckon Saab's the fastest player.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I'm
So I
just...
reckon-
that race would be interesting.
I
'Cause there's a
don't think
lot-
Saab's winning over 40, but I reckon once you get to the 80, Saab's 5 metres ahead.
I agree.
I think he can hold his top speed for the longest, which is the most important thing in a
There's even
100
like
race.
Smokies I'm thinking of, like Lofiana Camp Pereira.
I think Jojo
I think he
Yeah.
can
Smoky.
outpace. Yeah,
Fafita, he
yeah,
was
there's a lot
a,
from teams. Like Titans have a
sprinting
lot
champion.
of... Like,
Yeah.
even
Like-
Jaden Campbell's very quick. Even AJ Brimson's quick.
Yeah.
Like, there's
See,
a
again,
lot.
this is
Like,
another club,
clubs are
Gold
gonna
Coast
have to-
Titans, you're good at content. Do it.
Yeah, literally. And yeah, and you can...
And,
make your
and
own
you're not
club
making the
content.
finals, so it doesn't matter
Where-
if they get injured.
Yeah. Whereas Souths don't have many options, do they?
Well, maybe we just send 2 Titans and South, don't worry.
Well,
Just
that's...
focus on next year. Maybe we get Wayne Bennett to run.
Might
I mean, I'd love to see that.
might
but-
be the end of him.
This is now 3 weeks in a row that we've referenced Wayne Bennett dying. It's getting pretty
Goodness.
grim.
I was talking about this the other night on the car ride home from Canberra with my dad. I'm like, I wonder, imagine if he dies while he's like coaching. And my dad's like, I reckon he will.
He's got another
like,
15
South
years
will cause
left
him
in
to
him.
die.
He's
I'm like,
healthy. He's healthy.
I reckon he will.
Coaching South.
I reckon he
might
will
have a
be
heart attack.
coaching when he dies. So honestly, I reckon he will.
Do you reckon he's coaching in 20 years?
Yeah, but I reckon he'll coach until he's dead though.
Yeah.
You just got to hope it's not in the middle of the
He'll
season.
hang up the
though.
boots soon.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
it's,
it's cold.
like it's in like November, December or something, so it's not like in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
That would be
Fuck,
devastating.
imagine pre-season rock up one day. Where's Wayne?
Oh,
Like,
far
then
out.
call them into the meeting.
Anyway, let's move on from that. This is more of a...
So Nathan Cleary, guys, he got hurt.
He did.
Yeah. So Nathan Cleary, obviously, he's meant to be back for finals, but he's out for the regular season. 3
Not as
weeks
bad
left.
as we initially thought. Though.
Yeah. It's a shoulder injury.
So this means the Roosters have a chance to jump the Panthers. Well, the Roosters believe that.
And
but
Sharks.
You look, the Panthers are playing the Raiders, the Rabbitohs, and the Titans, which you'd think even without Cleary they'd win all 3 of those games. Like Raiders, they're out of finals contention now. They can't make it. I think they're just about gone.
Yeah. But
If you ask me.
But that's exactly why the Raiders are a tough game now.
yeah, because
Because
and
they
got
got
flogged
nothing
last
to
week
lose,
as
and
well.
they just want to cheering everyone else.
Well, all three of those games are. Yeah.
But if you look back in history, recent history, Penrith have a reputation of absolutely flogging the Raiders recently.
But also the thing is, like, people thinking that the Roosters are going to go take over Penrith now. Like, well, why haven't they all season? Cleary's played like 8 games.
Yeah, literally.
So
I think there's one person in particular who really wants them to have a home final at Allianz. He's a former Orange Pillars guest, and he's extremely confident that he's extremely confident that they're going to overtake the Panthers, which I don't think it's happening.
After they lose week 1, they'll have a home final anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So. But he wants, I think, because he doesn't want to travel to Melbourne for the prelim.
Oh, well, game's a game. Then he's going to have to go watch the Dragons beat them at Allianz. What a shame.
Well, they'll be third, so they'll play Manly or the Cowboys.
Nah, Dragons will be 7th.
Yeah. Oh, Dragons 7th, okay.
But yeah, what impact do you reckon this has? Obviously, like we just said, into the rest of the regular season, they should be right. But Cleary coming back with like carrying a shoulder injury in the finals, how much of an impact is that going to have?
Cooper Cronk did it.
For one game.
He played, yes, but if Cooper Cronk can do it, Cleary can do it.
Can Cleary do that for
I think he
3
can.
or 4 games?
I think he can.
I don't know if he can. Cooper Cronk didn't even do it for 80 minutes.
Yeah, but I think Cleary can.
And
regardless.
also, can I just say, they're very different injuries.
There's a lot of people saying, like...
different injuries.
I think Paul Gallen said... No, Phil Gould said it last night. If the grand finals next week, Cleary would play.
Of course.
So that just shows that... I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to me.
No, it is.
Is it really?
He's a physio, eh?
There's a lot of
He's a physio. Don't argue with the physio.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying, though, like it was season ending. And then straight away they're like, no, he'll be back to finals.
All I'll say is that if he had the same injury with the same like damage and everything inside his shoulder, if this was in round 2, he probably wouldn't come back till like round 9 or 10.
So they're going to rush him in.
Yeah, because it's the finals. It's like they did the same thing with Drummond away last year.
Yeah, well, I think even without Cleary, they can still get there.
I think
because I think this is going to be Luai's final hurrah to prove himself before the Tigers.
On grand final day, they'll need Cleary, I think.
Yeah. Well, this reminds me of 2017, which is very different to the Panthers with the Cowboys. They went on that run from 8th, and then we got to the grand final week.
They got pumped.
Well, Thurston was out for the year, but everyone was saying, do they play Thurston in this grand final? Or do they just stick to what's been working? And it went on for like days. They're like, will Thurston play the grand final?
I just think it's
and
lucky.
And they opted not to.
So he obviously went and got the scan on his shoulder. And there's no extra ligament damage, that sort of thing. It's just all the swelling, inflammation. Like, it's still painful as anything. But because of that, it is... Like, you can see that it's a reasonable thing to say that he'll come back for the finals. My main concern is, though, it's his first game back after... What did he do again? Hammy? No.
Yeah,
did hammy again.
He came back from a hammy.
He's just match fitness. I don't know whether he's going to be sharp enough. There's people saying... I saw... It was on Bloke in a Bar. They're talking about whether it's that first week. Like, do you wait a week and bring him back if it's a do or die game? Like, if they lose that first round. I don't think he can afford it. I think he needs as many reps as possible before grand final.
Do you even consider giving him a running cup?
That was actually... I was literally thinking that. I was like, just to get some match fitness in.
Like, do you? Like, maybe you do. Because that's a fair point. He's played, 2 games in the last months?
Yeah, since before Origin.
Yeah. So, maybe it's something you consider, genuinely. But then you risk hurting the shoulder for a cup game.
Those poor cup boys.
Yeah.
But, you could just have him just defend on the wing.
Yeah.
And
just for fitness,
if someone's going to run on his left shoulder, he's just whatever.
Let him go.
Yeah. Good work, mate. But
it'll be interesting, because, he's that important to the team. When they played the Bulldogs... He went off, and the Bulldogs won that period with him off the field. The Storm game they dropped with him missing the last 10 or 15 minutes. He is the difference for Panthers in those big games.
Yeah, because he also won that impossible game against the Eels 2 weeks ago.
He
all because of him. Impossible win.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I take back that it was his first game back. He annihilated the Dragons 3 weeks ago. I forgot about that. Oops.
Yeah, I don't blame you for rubbing that one out of your memory.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Roosters signings. They re-signed Connor Watson and Spencer Lenu.
Which I didn't see him leaving the Roosters anytime soon.
No.
I expected maybe Connor Watson I could have seen possibly looking elsewhere, but Connor Watson's been very underrated. Obviously playing Origin this year.
Yeah.
It's been a very, very underrated player. Probably the most underrated in the competition.
I think at the start of the year, I agree with the Connor Watson probably would have looked to move clubs, but now he's getting a starting role and playing big minutes and has a pretty
Yeah.
instrumental role in the Chook
Yeah.
side. Like, he can't... He's one of those guys, especially, like, he did his patella tendon the other week, like, and then he had that throat injury and stuff, and the Roosters were stuck by him.
Yeah.
So it's probably that, like, thing of, right, you're stuck by me, like,
Yeah,
I'll stay for
And
unders.
it's also
all
the
that sort of
fact that
stuff.
you look at who the Roosters are losing. They need to start keeping as many players as possible
Yeah.
at this point. Like, they're losing Manu, Suwali, Ria Hargraves.
Yep.
Who else?
There's another one
Luke
gone.
Keary.
Yeah.
I think that was it for the time being.
Yeah.
Possible Brandon Smith, but I think that got put away now. That he's staying.
On Watson, like, I'm pretty sure from, like, listening to podcasts he's been on and stuff, he's got a really good relationship with Robinson as well. Like, he went to the Knights after the Roosters and then came back to the Roosters. Like, I don't think he was ever going to leave. And then Lenu, like, he's only been there for a year. He's
And I think
become a
with
cult
Ria
hero.
Hargraves
Yeah.
leaving, he's the next
Yeah.
one in line. He won't be on the bench. He'll be starting for the
And he's
Roosters.
23.
Yes, very young.
How gross is that?
And I've always loved Spencer Lenu. I mean, since he
awesome
moved,
for
since he
Origin.
moved to the Roosters, I've kind of lost a bit, like, of my likeness towards him, just because he's a Rooster. But
He's a scary, scary man.
he is a scary. Just the way he runs, like, my God,
Off
he's
the
a
back
monster.
fence.
I would
Yeah.
not get in the way of him.
No, but like, I just look at him play, and I'm like, why don't other forwards watch the way he runs full speed every time he gets the ball,
Because other forwards would do that for 10 minutes and
then be
cooked.
exhausted.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I look at like Tom Burgess, he's just very slow hitting them up. Like, he makes good yardage.
But it's,
Spencer
that's
Lenu,
probably
I'm like,
also
at
as
the same-
fast as Tom Burgess can run. Like, that is him coming off the back fence.
Oh,
Like-
let him be.
Also, respectfully to my boy Blake Lowry. Like, can you imagine Blake Lowry
Yeah,
running
okay.
like that? Like,
Right,
it's just not going to happen.
In other Roosters news as well, I know, Zane, you're keen to talk about this. The turf at Allianz Stadium. What happened?
I don't know. It was a lot of rain in a short period of time. I don't think
Yeah.
it had enough time to drain out. But I mean, as soon as I saw that field, you know what it reminded me of?
What did it
It
remind
reminded me
you
of that
mate?
game in Perth in 2011 when the Rabbitohs played the Broncos. Chris Sando put a kick into the end goal and Reece Wester was there as it got stopped in a puddle. And as soon as the kick-off happened, I'm like, I really hope like Sam Walker puts like a kick into the end goal and he dives on top of it. I'm like,
Like Reece Wester's
Yeah,
in
like-
the wet
yeah.
try. Speaking of Reece Wester, should we do our Reece Wester in the wet try of the week?
yes, I wanted to pick one from this game, but I've actually gone with Josh Adokar,
Oh.
the one he did score.
Really?
The other one I wanted to go with was Jojo Fafitas in the first minute against
Yeah.
the Dragons, but I'm like, they did lose, so I better go with Adokar. But I really wanted to pick one from this game.
I feel like Jacob Kiraz's Spew try has been robbed.
Yeah, maybe.
You talk about Jordan's flu game. What about Kiraz's Spew game?
Spew game.
But like,
On all fours.
I can guarantee you right now, if there was a try scored similar to Reece Wester's on Friday night, it would have
Would've
won
got
this.
it. And
It'd have to
then,
win.
and then in 10 years' time, you'd be still talking about that try as well.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you come for. We're doing our preview. The first game is Tigers Manly. Does anyone have the ins and outs up?
Ooh.
That can be your job, Tyson.
We'll see how the,
Put you to work in your
the
return.
old data goes. Reception.
Yeah, no good. Don't even bother.
Here we
I'll
are.
be on
The
standby.
Orange Peelers Centre of Excellence doesn't
we
have
go.
great internet.
Ins
Yeah,
and
thanks,
outs.
Telstra.
Ins. Oy, surely not.
I think like his Aiden Caesar, I saw his back. Did he play last week, Zane?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Okay, see that. Don't worry. then.
Yes, he did.
Lehigh Hopewadi has been named.
Yeah, he's in instead of Tommy Talau.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right, because he did his pec.
Matt Lodge
Yeah.
has been named as well.
Yucky.
So I assume not outside of Tommy Talau, not much.
Carl Lawton's come in, I've seen, but I don't know who he's replacing.
Yeah,
Number
Carl
12.
Lawton's playing second row.
Far out.
We've got outs. Just says Tommy Talau.
Yeah, okay. Sick. Who do we think is winning this one,
Who
gentlemen?
do we think?
This is the type of game I can see Manly losing.
It's
Just
actually
Tigers. Just
It's not even the worst call. Obviously, I do
I
think
can just
Manly
see
will
where it
win.
happens, but at the same time, I think Manly are on a roll at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of people underestimating them into finals because they can put on points when they want to. Like, I thought they were poor last week, but that was due to the rain. Like, I feel like if it wasn't raining, they would have won that game by a lot more. But they should beat the Tigers. If they can't beat the Tigers at this stage in the year, then they're gone.
If Manly is serious about doing something
Yes.
in the postseason, they should put 50 on them.
yeah.
I don't think it'll be that much, but I think they can definitely. put
Especially with
40
how good their attack is.
Where's
and
this
how
one at?
Like
It's at Leichhardt.
Okay.
So the Tigers will win.
Yeah. Well, they've found a bit of form, haven't they? After beating Souths.
They
Yeah.
won one game. To be
Big
fair for
chance.
Tigers, that is good form.
I mean,
Dogs have the biggest winning streak in the comp, just quietly at the moment.
We're not talking about.
Yeah, but
Dogs
let's
fans,
talk about
man.
the
Who's
Dogs.
had the biggest winning streak all year? Oh, wait, is that Dogs' biggest winning streak all year? Is it?
It's our biggest. Anyway, Manly Tigers. We're all tipping Manly.
Yes. And I think
okay.
I reckon they win this pretty convincingly.
And
as well.
we like to do a prediction for each game, Tyson, thanks to TBC Live.
Yep.
So
A bold prediction for the game.
It doesn't
Can
have to
be
be
anything.
bold. Zane always says bold. It doesn't have to be bold.
Mm-hmm.
But literally just predict anything to happen. It doesn't have to be like sometimes we go like Benji Marshall to wear a hat.
Yep.
Like just predict anything to show the viewers that on TBC Live you can predict anything.
Anthony Seavord, yeah, that's his name. They'll cut to him blowing up after Tom Trbojevic knock on.
Nice.
Oh,
nice and
that's
specific.
a very
I like
specific
that.
one. That.
Good stuff.
Well, I'll go very bold. I'll go Benji Marshall to wear a grey beanie, white undershirt, and grey overshirt.
Yeah, okay.
Like specific like that.
I'm going to go the Thurston guy on the hill to be seen on TV.
All right, okay.
And then we go to Wars Dogs, which is in New Zealand.
At Shaun Johnson Stadium.
Yeah, Shaun Johnson's final home game. The Bulldogs haven't won an away game in New Zealand since 2014 when they last made the grand final.
Oh no!
Just saying.
Not another star.
Just saying.
This is a you think the Warriors show up here for Shaun Johnson?
You'd hope.
But you also said Anzac Day they'd put 50 past the Titans,
Yeah.
and they didn't win that. So,
Yeah, they certainly didn't win that.
who's favourites? You'd think Dogs are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the Dogs are due for what you say 4 in a row. They're due for a loss before finals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're playing for a top 4 spot.
Yeah.
And to me, they look like they're getting better every week.
Yeah, even though you said they peaked 5
I
weeks ago.
thought they might, mate. I thought they had to have, but they're getting better every week.
Because it's 2024.
Yeah, but no, I can't do this to them. I've got to pick Warriors. I've got it. They have to win this.
In Shaun Johnson's...
Bold prediction: Shaun Johnson winning field goal.
Cool.
Matt Burton
Nice.
misses the first one, and Johnson nails it.
Ooh,
Wow. And last time we played Warriors, it was field goals.
It
so.
was too.
that's
yes.
right. I remember that.
But I reckon Warriors want some revenge for
Bit
that.
of controversy after James
Yeah.
Salmon broke.
His own jaw.
Yes, and also tomorrow night. That's
Yeah,
the first I'm thinking
yeah.
of.
Sure, it just has to happen. Shaun Johnson field goal.
It would be good.
Win it. Golden point.
But Tyson, what do you reckon?
I do think like it's a tough day for the Dogs to go over there. Like Warriors last home game for the season, Shaun Johnson Stadium. I'm going to pick the Warriors. It'll be close. I think like 1-12. I don't think obviously they're not going to blow out. Like the Doggies don't concede points.
They don't, but I feel like on a day like this, it could.
Yeah,
I could,
nah.
like 90% sure it won't, but
I'm
not certain it will, but I can see it would.
We're not going to get blown out.
same. But
I
I can
almost-
see a world where it does happen for this game.
Who's
I
the
almost
best defense in the
think-
comp?
It'd be a good thing for the Dogs to lose a game.
Yeah.
Just
Same.
so they
I
don't go
think
into
they need a
finals being
loss.
complacent. My bold prediction is I'm going to say that Luke Metcalf and Adam Fanua-Blake score in the first half.
There you go. That's very bold. I like it. I'm going the Dogs. I do want to say, if there was ever a game that I'd be happy to see the Dogs lose, it would be Shaun Johnson's last home game. Because I love Shaun Johnson as a person and as a player. Like, he was one of my childhood heroes. So, like, as you said, like, I don't want to go into finals on a 7-game winning streak and then have to win another 3 or 4 games, because the most games we've won in the last 8 years is like 3 in a row. So
If they lose,
it's like-
if they lose this though, do you think they can make top 4?
Nah, they got to win all their games to get top 4. I think they are probably due for a loss as well, but like I'm going to tip the Dogs to win. And my prediction is going to be, just nice and simple, Shaun Johnson to score a try in his farewell.
Yeah.
Shaun Johnson to score the last try of the game.
I like
We'll
that.
get it a little bit more spicy.
Little swan song.
In front of the spider wires.
Yeah, in front of the spider wires as well. And then jumps into the crowd with the spider wires, pulls on a Spider-Man costume, and that's how. And then just fade to black.
Well, I mean, who cares?
Maybe,
Who
yes.
cares if we get? He's retiring, so who cares if
End
he gets
credits.
control at this
End
point?
credits, yeah.
Yeah, let him be.
Broncos, Eels. This is ugly because like Reece Walsh is out, Ezra Mam's out, Payne Haas is out, but it's against the Eels, who are coached by Trent Barrett. So
I don't know. Broncos are still a chance at finals, believe it or not. Eels are trying to make sure they don't get that wooden spoon.
Yeah.
'Cause I started watching NRL 2012, So if Eels were to win the Spoon this year, they would have won the Spoon more than any other team has since I've watched NRL.
There you go.
So that would be
That's
kind of funny, but
I think that'll be addressed in the Trent Barrett pre-game as well.
Yeah.
We don't want to be the team that's won the most wooden spoons since Zane Potter started watching the league.
yeah, 2012, 2013, 2018.
But I hope Trent Barrett doesn't watch this podcast because he'd be off me.
I think Broncos at home. Probably a very high scoring game, I'd say.
Yeah. Are you on Broncos?
Yeah, I mean they're still playing. They can still play finals. So I'm just saying.
That's disgusting, isn't it? Because they're shit.
I just like how, like you say, mathematically for the Broncos. I'm going to make it about the Bulldogs thing because I forgot to bring this up earlier.
Yeah.
Like in the last 8 years, and as a Dragons fan, you probably feel this, and Zane this year, you get to like the last 3 or 5 weeks and you're thinking, mathematically we can still play finals. I'm now sitting here going, how can we mathematically miss the finals?
Yeah.
Like I sat there, I'm like, Dolphins, if they win all these games and Dragons win all these games, we can still miss it. We're not in it yet. And it's a nice feeling to just be going, mathematically we can miss it.
When you start thinking about like mathematically ways to make the finals, you're not making the finals.
Yeah, I've always said that.
You're done.
Yeah. Broncos Eels.
I actually don't really want to like tip this game or watch this game or like have anything to do with this game of rugby league.
Want to just move on then?
I'm looking at this, right? The Eels were just so bad last week that I can't bring myself to tip them. But the Broncos team list does suck. Adam Reynolds is I will tip the Broncos, but not willingly.
Cobbo's been named. Okay.
Yeah, he's back. I'm going to do something that's never been done on Orange Peelers before. I'm tipping a draw.
Tipping a draw?
I'm tipping a draw.
Okay.
Doesn't mean a draw. Oh, actually, there has been a draw this year.
Yeah.
Because Manly and Warriors drew. I don't care. I'm tipping a draw. Neither team deserves to win this game.
I agree with that.
It's going to be a draw.
Well, I'm just going to go simple my prediction. It's just like Chelsea Dagger gets played after Broncos try. As always.
Wow. So Broncos, if they score, you win. What about you? Prediction?
Bold prediction. What's his name? Tristan Saylor scores a hat-trick.
Ooh.
Or does Winston steal my usual prediction for a Broncos game? Kevin Walters to be standing up, arms crossed in the coach's
Chelsea
box.
Dagger is normally mine. My bold prediction, I feel like saying a draw is bold enough. I'm just that as a prediction, to be honest. Raiders Panthers in the nation's capital.
I think last year Penrith put 50 on him down here. But
Luke Somerton playing 9.
For Penrith?
Yeah.
See, as always, this is either going to be Raiders 1 to 12 or Penrith 13 plus.
Yeah.
No, this will be
Penrith
Penrith 40 plus.
Like last
Penrith
year.
will smoke them. Raiders, they're just... they haven't actually been that great at home this year, to be honest. And, they're just... You see from last... They've just given up.
Yeah.
The way the Raiders have played probably the last month is how I thought they'd play all year, to be honest.
Yeah,
they've actually
they've kind of
really exceeded my expectations.
But did you see Ricky Stewart after that game, though? He was pissed in that press conference. And he was suppressing himself, I think.
Well,
but he was
to be honest, if you get beat 42-4 and you're not pissed off...
Well, ask Jason Demetrio that.
Something wrong with it. That's why he doesn't have a job anymore.
Yeah, Jason Demetrio can get 50 put on him and say, we're better than last week. So,
Who are we all going Panthers? That's
you'd think so.
And predictions. Obviously, you said Panthers 40 plus. Is that your prediction?
My prediction is there's going to be a push and shove in the last 20 minutes of the game.
I'll just give you the point there. That's going to happen. Zane.
I'm going to say Ricky Stewart to sign the press conference.
Sign.
Maybe not in that tone, but just, Yeah.
I'm going to go...
Crap.
This is a good one. I'm going to go Ivan Cleary to be asked about Nathan Cleary. Press conference.
I'm just going to
$1.01.
We haven't done our usual. We haven't looked at the referees of this week. I'm just hoping Ash Klein is the Roosters game because that's just tradition.
Yuck.
Roosters have. Well, they haven't revealed the refs yet.
Ashley Klein sucks, respectfully.
Storm Dolphins in Melbourne. Dolphins playing for a top 8 spot. Storm, they're pretty much locked into the minor premiership.
And Storm.
This is the
Melbourne.
time where Bennett gets his troops to get going. I
thought
thought
that
it
was
would
last
happen
week.
weeks ago, but it's just...
Well,
I'm still not counting the Dolphins out yet.
It is
I'm
now or
still
never.
not. It is, but I'm still not counting them out yet because you just can't with Wayne Bennett coach side.
Yeah.
They could definitely beat the Storm this game.
Tyron Wishart playing on the Sting as well.
Yeah.
For the Storm.
Surely he gets
But at the
moved.
same
I don't like
time,
that.
common sense, I'm tipping the Storm down in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Storm by 20.
I mean, if the Dragons can beat them down there, the Dolphins definitely can.
That's so
I
disrespectful.
feel like Dragons are a better side than Dolphins.
Well, the Dolphins did beat them 38-0. earlier in the year.
After 2 rounds. If we're going off that logic, the Bulldogs shouldn't be in the 8 because they also got flogged earlier in the year.
And they also lost to the Rabbitohs, so you are
We
right there.
did beat
Dragons
the
are top
Dolphins
eight.
as well
Yeah.
this year.
You did, yes, actually.
I
Yeah,
feel like
you
Dragons
flogged
are a
them.
top 8 team, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll go Storm.
Yeah, I'm going Storm as well. What are our predictions?
Ryan Pappenhausen to run the length of a field for a try.
Yeah.
And Hammer attempt to run him down but fail.
So you reckon Pappenhausen quicker than Hammer?
I'm going to say on this occasion he beats him.
Okay.
Missed tackle or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, he'll grab him but then just fall away.
My prediction is that Cameron Munster will set up Jerome Hughes for a try.
Interesting. The halves combine. I'll go Tyron Wishart to not play wing.
Yeah. Well, Fa'alongo's down to 14.
Yeah.
So you can sort of see him coming on back to play on the wing.
100%. Souths, Knights.
It's a yuck game of football.
What do you reckon's going to happen here?
I mean, Knights
Excited for this
Knights tend to have like one good game every month, which they had last week, so I mean, they probably... Yeah, I'll tip South. I mean, this is our 10-year anniversary game. We've got the jerseys.
Those ugly jerseys.
I mean, they would look better in the concept picture, but whatever.
In
They're-
person,
yeah.
it's like
I mean,
brown, not
South,
gold.
you know, they've got a lot to play for this game. Like, believe it's our last chance. If we're going to win a game, this is our last chance for it.
So it's a lot to play for.
Yeah, well, I mean, pride, but it's an anniversary game, celebrating
Pride,
10
mate.
years since the grand final. And
I'll just let us proudest.
to all Rabbitohs supporters out there, if you're not doing anything Saturday night, after this game, it's fans on field.
Oh,
All 6 of them, let's go!
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you would love to walk the field of a core stadium, reminisce all the great moments, especially in 2024 for the Rabbitohs.
you talk about having 2 heats of 9 and 8 for the grand final race. Souths could probably do that. If they get 7,
We'll
they
do
get
it.
7
We'll,
fans,
we'll,
they can do
this
a-
isn't a
do
Thursday.
race.
This isn't a Thursday night. We'll have a crowd here. I reckon it'll be
You might crack 5,000.
the minimum will be 12,000 at this game. That's my bold prediction.
I bet you
Minimum,
unders.
minimum of
Yeah,
12,000.
I'll take unders
I'll
every
take a
day.
single digit crowd.
Of like actual people there, not boosted or called.
So not just South
numbers.
fans, Knights supporters. I'm begging on you as well.
Knights
Please help me get my
supporters.
bold prediction here. Just show up to the
I
game.
don't think Nilso's travelling down the M1 to go watch South Knights at a core, to be honest. Sorry,
but
mate.
I'm tipping Rabbitohs and I'm going to say minimum crowd of 12,000.
Far out. That's okay.
Yeah, respectfully, Knights. I feel like KP might have a pretty good game. I'm predicting
yeah.
now that Kai Piss-Paul has scored his first try.
Oh.
Floodgates are open for the rest of the year. He's getting a double this weekend.
KPP.
I look at
Supercoach
that South
option.
back line and Caleb Ponga. That's going to be annoying.
Do you want to change your tip?
No, I'll stick with South.
Yeah, I'm going Knights as well. I feel like Knights. They're also playing for a top 8 spot.
I think that
that's
lost
like-
last week though, kind of.
Yeah, that's
Again,
not
mathematically-
Well, what if they did-
Mathematically.
You see Buzz Rothfield come out last night and say if a team loses in Golden Point, they should
Bro,
be
we're
getting
not even going
points.
to talk about that. That was so dumb.
Oh, it is dumb. I'm like, doesn't
They-
matter.
they do it
doesn't matter
every single year.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, Buzz does. I'm like, doesn't matter if they lose in Golden Point and they tried their best. They lost the game.
Exactly.
Doesn't
You
matter.
think the teams that get beat by 50 didn't try... Well, actually, to be fair, they probably don't try their best. But, like, if you lose by 2 in regular time,
But
what's
I swear,
the
after
difference?
every
Yeah,
Golden
literally.
Point game, Buzz brings this up.
Yeah.
Like he said, I think the Warriors game.
But like, just like if you lose by 1, like by a field goal kicked in the 80th minute, and you don't come away with anything, but someone
Exactly.
loses by 1 for a field goal kicked in the 81st minute. Like, what?
Makes no sense. eh?
Anyway.
And then
Anyway.
4 points for a win, 0 points for a loss. It's just like
Yeah. AFL 4 points for a win.
But yeah, my prediction for the Knights game, I'm gonna match Zane's prediction. I'm gonna go single digit crowd.
Okay. Yeah.
Single digit.
Nah,
Single digit.
that we've only
As in- sorry, not single digit.
There's going to be 4 people there.
That's not what I meant. I meant 4 digit, but screw it. Single digit crowd.
We have
I said what I
only
said.
had a 4-digit crowd on Thursday nights this year.
Okay.
On Friday, Saturday, Sundays, we've had 10,000 plus.
It's not a
Nice.
flex.
It's not a flex, but it's not.
Hey, we had
it's not 4 digits.
11,000 on a Sunday.
not 4
We pulled 30k against the Warriors. Titans Roosters.
Oh, this is daytime, 2 p.m. Gold Coast.
This is
I reckon-
champagne footy central.
I
for the
reckon,
Roosters.
Dom-
I reckon
Young original
extremely high scoring game here.
Yeah.
Lots of points. Like it'll just be back and forth.
This I just see the visions of Sam Walker doing his stupid little jinky run and
Yeah, but
just
I
slicing
could,
through
at
all
the same
day.
time, I can also see the Titans just throwing it to outside backs and they just run the field. That's just, I reckon, a lot of points in this game. So AJ Brimson at 14. He's
You know, he got like 8 minutes on the weekend.
At
Yeah.
hooker.
At hooker.
At hooker.
When they
this
were-
is the Queensland fullback.
They were
Fullback,
down.
Queensland
They
fullback.
were down by 20 at half time, and you bring on AJ Brimson for 10 minutes when the game's done at dummy arm.
What do you think of AJ Brimson looking like Kieran Foran now? With his shaved
Yeah.
like,
When he first got, because I was like, kept going, like, I could see him. I was sitting on the hill, could see him. I was like, he's still got his jacket on. Like, he doesn't look close to warming up. And he came on, I was like, who's that? I was like, oh, shit, it's AJ Brimson.
Well, he's done the Britney Spears. He's gone insane for him not getting a start when he's that good, and he just shaved his head.
well, I'm going to say Roosters win. Only
Yeah.
because you look, they're exactly they're against Gold Coast. They're exactly like South. Like that's just the team that they, it's always a guaranteed win whenever they play.
Watson, Supercoach.
But I'm going to say Roosters win. But as my prediction, I'm going to say the Titans to score a minimum of 24 points.
Yeah. Oh my
I reckon
goodness.
I reckon it's going to be like a 36.
Roosters are better than
I reckon like 26-38 sort of scoreline. Like, well, they did concede 34 to the Dolphins the other week and win.
True.
So they do,
This is
and
true.
30 to Manly the week before
Yeah.
that. So they do concede a lot.
True.
Yeah,
But-
no, fair enough.
Titans can put on points, especially in the day. We know that. So I don't think
That's Seabus.
I don't think Titans will make it easy for them in this game. Because I think a lot of people are expecting like a Roosters blowout, which probably could happen. But
Yeah.
I think Titans in the day could give them a real run for their money. But I think Roosters win though.
I'll agree with Zane. Roosters 13 plus. Although looking at my NRL app at the moment here, Khan Pereira and Daniel Tupou are like 4 times the size of everyone else here. So my bold prediction is going to be they both score 2 tries minimum.
Nice.
Right.
Well, because their images are bigger.
Images are bigger, both in the number 2.
Yeah.
At 2 o'clock, there's 2s everywhere. 2 tries for the both of them.
That's actually the most valid thing I've heard, and that's coming from me with like 47 legs of a 4 theory. What's 2 plus 2? Oh, 4. I'm gonna go Roosters
Minus 1,
as
that's
well.
3 quick maths.
Is there like a Hainsey on TV prediction coming?
Now my prediction's gonna be Dom Young hat trick.
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
feel like he's gonna get beat.
How many
for
tries he
field
scored?
goal.
Who's leading the top try scorers?
I think
Khan
it was.
Pereira, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Khan Pereira.
I think Dom Young's up there. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Young
it's
would have to
Pereira.
be up there. He scores every time I've watched them.
And then game of the round. This is genuinely like Zane said it before. Sharks playing for top 4, Dragons playing for top 8.
A lot.
A local
could,
derby,
a lot in the
it's a
top 8 could
rivalry.
change depending on the result of
The
this
Shane
game.
Flanagan Cup, obviously we know he likes to play against the Sharks. It is the Dragons and the Sharks.
And my prediction, Dragons won last week, which means they probably lose by 20 in this
Yep.
game, even though people are hyping them up, so they'll probably get the win.
No.
I'll be nice. I'll say Dragons put up a fight, but I think Sharks win in very tight circumstances.
Any prediction?
Let's say... Oh, I don't know. I would say the dragon mascot, the trip over when running out the tunnel.
Oh, not happy.
Not happy.
Not happy.
In
I
his,
think it's
Go.
happened.
in his second last
I
home game.
think it's happened before. Like he'll just be running out doing the thing. Oh,
Last home game at win, the last home game
Yeah.
that matters for the Dragons. Like,
I'll go bold for this one.
That's so sad. Dyson.
so I would absolutely love the Dragons to crack their little 8-week curse we've got going on. I think we can do it. Jack Bird at 6. Again, it does make me feel a little bit yucky in the tummy, but
No backup on the bench.
yeah. Although things can change. Larkin is still named at 18th
Yeah,
man, so hopefully. But he actually wasn't that bad on the weekend. Sharks as well, interestingly, Braden Trindle's back, and I feel like I'd love to see the stats, but when they have 2 halves playing, I feel like they are a lot worse team.
Yeah.
So I'm going to predict that the Dragons do win because I'm just blind. My bold prediction, though, is it's going to be, let's say, Rana Mulatalo will drop the ball over the line, scoring a try, and I'll laugh at him.
All right. He's good for that.
Yeah.
He can.
I
drop the ball over
I
the
really
try.
want the referees to get released because that's going to be like for all the games.
I'm going to go Sharks to win this one due to the win-loss pattern. Dragons won last week, so they'll lose this week. And my bold prediction, I'm going to back Win Stadium to sell out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
I
that.
reckon it- I reckon it
Why
will.
not? They sold out against the Panthers.
When was the last time Sharks played at Win?
Like
I don't think
last
they
year.
didn't
They
last.
played-
No, they flogged them at Cogra, I remember. It was Nico Hines' return game.
Oh, actually, that's the other thing. Every single time Nico Hines plays against the Dragons, he
Dominates.
demolishes us.
I know he does.
And he's not playing this week, so we're actually a chance.
22. it
Can
was.
someone pull up the NRL?
Yeah, 22.
W
Sharks
for
won
me?
36-12. Yeah, this is the one I'm thinking. This was the pouring rain one at Win Stadium.
Yeah, right. You love your pouring rain games. You seem to always just
Oh no, I
remember
just
when it's
no,
Big rain guy.
No, I just
Big
remember there was
rain
like a
guy.
game. I was in Queensland at the time. It was like pouring rain in Wollongong.
Eels versus Knights.
Eels versus Knights. All right, I'll just get you to read them out.
Okay.
We'll do our tips.
Yep.
So we've got Eels Knights. How well do you know the NRL? Are you going to be all over the tipping?
No.
Perfect. This is actually a pretty good game because that's like a top of the ladder clash. Zane, you start us off.
I'll go Knights to bounce back.
Yep. Because I'm really well
Knights won it
versed in
last
NRLW.
year, so
The Knights did get beat by the Dragons the other week. I know the Dragons are struggling, so we'll go to the Eels to win.
I reckon
That's
to make it
valid.
up,
Eels are
then we'll
going
have a
good
blinder.
Next game,
But then we got the Raiders taking on the Cowboys.
Zane.
And these are the two bottom teams by the looks of it.
And our Tigers are at the bottom of both
I'll say
comps.
Yeah, shock.
I'll go Cowboys because they're higher.
Fair enough. Tyson.
I'm going to take the Raiders at home for no other reason than that.
I'm also going to take the Raiders at home. We've got Titans, Roosters.
Roosters are the... what's this at, Seabass?
Interesting.
I mean, Titans they were in the grand final last year. Roosters, I think, probably win it this year.
Yeah,
But
okay.
Titans have lost 2 in a row. I think Titans bounce back at
Okay.
home.
The first of two double headers actually in the NRLW and
Oh, yeah,
NRL
yeah,
on
the
Sunday,
men play
which is
after
pretty
that.
cool. I'm going to take... The Titans got pumped at home the other week, so I'm going to take
It wasn't.
the
It was at like some ground in Brisbane though, wasn't it? I don't think it was at Seabass that
I don't
game.
know. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But they have lost like back-to-back games.
Yeah.
I thought Titans were your team.
They are, but anyway, we'll move on from this swiftly.
I'm also tipping the Titans for what it's worth. Tigers, Broncos. As I said, Tigers, the Spooners. Broncos,
Paying
they've bounced back
$5.
a little bit. Kezi Apps as well out for the season for the Tigers. They're captain.
That's
best
what she
player.
gets for leaving the Dragons.
Yeah, I'll pick Broncos then if that's the case.
Okay.
Let's go bold. Tigers win this.
Ooh, I like it. I'm going Broncos. Just common sense. And then, yeah, Dragon Sharks, another double header.
I think Sharks will be the runners up.
Is
to
this
the
one?
Roosters.
Is this one after
Yeah.
the game?
Yeah, they did
Done that a
that.
couple
They did that
times.
in Newcastle the other week.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how many people hang around.
Yeah, not much did at Newcastle,
Like, I
so
was
we'll have
just
to see
thinking,
how
like,
it is.
I'm going to have to hang
Moving
around
on.
because
Yeah.
my job. I was like, oh, it's a late night for me.
Being it Sunday, I probably will have to trot home. But
I'll go for Sharks.
yeah, the fact that the Sharks are first, and there's actually, like, obviously I'm going to tip the Dragons, and there's a few little traders in the Sharks team.
Yeah, there is.
Is Emma Tonegata playing? Yeah. Just less said about that, the better. Holly Wheeler, I feel like she once upon a time played for the Dragons and NRLW. But I'm going to back the girls in. We've got a young team, and they're going to be better for the experience, but we're going to get the dub this weekend.
I'm going to go Sharks. I don't have a team in the NRLW. Next year I do because the Dogs finally come in. But I usually like watch players, and this season I'm very much on the Taylor Preston bandwagon because she's the future Dogs halfback. We've signed her.
Correct.
She's a Sharks halfback, so up the Sharks. Up, baby. That's us done.
Yuck.
Trademark. Thanks for coming on.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me. Again, I just want to address the rumours and get all your little kids out of my DMs. When it was announced that I was becoming on as the co-host, it was sporadic and when I could, because I'm a
I
man
think we did
who...
make that clear as well.
We did.
An
I thought
occasional.
we did.
An
I thought we did.
occasional.
I was occasional
co-host.
host when I could. I've been away for uni for 10 weeks, so I haven't been able to come on, and I'm a busy man. I get here when I can. Please leave me alone and my DMs.
He also cost a lot of money to get in here.
Exactly
We've been
right. I'm
saving our
exceeding
little
the budget.
pennies.
Yeah, we could show the contract, not the paperwork. He's got to fill out.
Yeah, but we're
to
not.
join the
we're
show.
not
Hainsey knows the feeling.
That's
Doesn't
why
he?
he hasn't been back. Hectic Fred as well. They're just all too expensive. Luckily, Trademark is worth a bit less than Hainsey and Hectic Fred, so we can
Yeah,
pay for
yeah.
it too. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let's trot, baby.
Otherwise.